Hey guys, welcome to Cruise RV. So it is Sunday, 3rd of October, 2021. I met a couple yesterday. I was doing some other business with them and I gave them my card. And they said, "Oh, what do you do?" I said, "I'm involved in motorhome inspections, motorhome sales." And we started talking and he said, "We've been planning our retirement trip." They're probably in their mid-50s. "We've been planning our retirement trip, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at a fifth wheeler." I'm like, "Okay, what is the fifth wheeler? What about it, you know?" He said, "Oh, no, it's all in my head." I'm like, "Right, okay, when you've worked it out completely, you know exactly what you want, give me a call and I'll go and do the inspection on it for you, and I can even do the negotiations with the vendor if you like." But it got me thinking. We spoke afterwards and they were saying how they'd been putting this together for 3 years, you know? And it got me thinking about a situation a few years ago. Susan and I were having a look at a catamaran and we were planning to move onto the catamaran. And the broker had said to me, he said, "Craig, typically what I see is people that are in their late 60s start to plan for their circumnavigation around Australia. And they're talking to me for 3 to 4 years. And then once they get over 70, it's like, okay, he's got bad health or she's got bad health or he or she's decided to get scared of the water or whatever it is. And so that 3 or 4 years worth of effort they've put in has been for nothing. They've wasted the broker's time, they've wasted their own time, and they never got to experience sailing." So I had to think about it, and it's kind of similar for all ages, I think, because I've got a son who's 23 and he's hell-bent on buying a house, right? To live in, not to invest in, to live in. So I said to him, "Okay, if I can't talk you out of buying a house that you now have to just work for 30 years, if you're insistent on it, how about this? How about you live this nomadic lifestyle for 2 years?" I did a budget for him. And I worked out that with all of his ongoing expenses, even freeing up $300 per week for him to go out, go to the pub, go to the club, whatever you want to do, in 2 years, he was able to save $70,000. And then he said to me, "Oh yeah, no one wants to live in a caravan park." So the stigma is attached to it as well, right? But I was able to prove to him that you can live so cheaply, life on the road, and you can work your way around the whole country, you know? You can get to see this magnificent country whilst working. I mean, at the moment, up north, they're screaming for jobs. They can't get people to work. But I suppose that the next question that people ask me a lot is, like, what's the best setup, right? Well, there's never going to be a perfect setup. Every time you think you've got it down packed, either your circumstances are going to change or the economic circumstances of your country are going to change. And Susan and I have found that, like with us, it's been, okay, we had it exactly pegged out. We wanted the bus, had to be a 40-footer, had to be this, had to be that, blah, blah, blah. And every 6 months, those requirements change because the kids are getting older, their needs change, the size of their toys change. They tend to get bigger and more inflatable, especially on the coast. And so there's never going to be an absolute right or wrong way to live a nomadic lifestyle, right? But here's the deal. If you do want to, you know, do a lap, see this magnificent country, whether you do it in 1 year, 2, 10, do it slowly, whatever. Here's what I've noticed since we've been on the road. I think we've been on the road now for close to 3 years. So I've noticed people walking with a parka because that's their shelter. They're walking with a parka. I've noticed that. I've also noticed a bike with a swag, and I've also noticed a bike with a tent. I've noticed car with a tent. I've noticed ute with a tent or a swag and a fridge and complete 12-volt systems. I've noticed minivans. So we have vans, whether that be a pop-top roof or a standard van, and they've got their bed in the back, right? Bed in back. Then we've got the big high roof vans. So big vans that incorporate shower, toilet, little kitchenette, toilet, kitchen sink, and an awning. And then we go to caravans. You all know what caravans have got in them. They're fully self-contained, most of them. And then we go to fifth wheelers. Same again, they've got everything in them, they're just bigger. And then we go to small buses. And we go to big buses.
What are you doing, Dad?
I'm just doing a little video, darling.
Can I
So,
do a video?
Small buses are self-contained as well.
Can I do a
Big buses,
video?
hang on, I'm just doing a video, darling. And big buses, self-contained with awnings, like, you know, from sort of here onwards, you're talking like house. Only it's a mobile house. And your cost of living is dramatically decreased, which frees up a lot more money to do more travelling. And when you're doing more travelling, you've got more disposable income to put into other communities, whether it's the club, the pub, the butcher, the grocer, whatever it is. But back to this guy that I was talking about who had in his mind he wanted to go the fifth wheeler, right? And they'd been planning it for 3 years. So 3 years worth of planning, and the fifth wheeler was still in his head. He couldn't explain to me what the brand was, how many feet it was, anything. And so the point I'm trying to make here is there's never a perfect time to take on this lifestyle. You just got to bite the bullet. It's never going to be a perfect rig. You've just got to, it comes down to your budget. Whatever your budget is, you can make that work. My in-laws are on the road, Susan's parents. They're in their 70s. This is the second time they've been on the road. They were on the road first time in their 50s. They came back, ran some businesses, and now in their 70s they've hit the road again. They have no intention of moving back into a house. They've still got reasonable health. In fact, I think their health has increased since they've hit the road again. I really believe that. So my point is, it's never going to be perfect, and there's never going to be a perfect time to do it. And whatever age group you fit into, it doesn't matter. You can go back to hit the road walking with a parka or a wind cheater, you know what I mean? Or a bike, or a motorbike, or a car with a tent, vans, big vans, caravans, whatever suits your budget. You can hit the road and you can be retired, or you can work your way around the country at any point that you would like to. The take-home message really is to eliminate that fear. A lot of people I've found that I talk to have a lot of fear about living on the road. I'll give you an example. So I'm not a diesel mechanic. I come from construction. I'm a plumber, drainer, gas fitter, but I'm not a diesel mechanic. This bus has got a big diesel engine and it's an old engine. So a mate of mine said to me, how this came about was he was struggling with a hefty mortgage, 2 car loans, expensive lifestyle, right? A lot of debt. I said to him, why don't you just rent the house out and then hit the road and buy a bus and cut your living costs in half? his biggest fear was, I'm not a mechanic, what if the bus breaks down? To which I said, what if it doesn't break down? What if it's just fine? Or what if it does break down and it doesn't cost a fortune to fix it? And so later on, probably 8 months later, this bus did break down, and it was the kind of breakdown that was out of my league. I couldn't fix it. So we did have to get it towed. It was an expensive tow into J&J Truck Repairs and Maintenance here at Wollongong, and shout out to them, they're great guys. Very knowledgeable and not overpriced. Anyway, so it did break down. We did get towed. We were off the road for a week. We lived in it, in the truck yard, for that week. Every morning we'd get up, pack the girls up, and we'd go off somewhere, get out of the mechanic's hair. We'd come back, at closing time. I was in there for a week. It cost us a bit of money. We got it fixed. We got it back on the road. We're now 2 years down the track. Nothing's gone wrong. It's been fine. And so that fear of what if, well, it did happen. And hey, we're all still alive. We're all happy. It's not the end of the world. And we move on, push past it. Things are going to happen. I don't think you need to live a life in fear. But anyway, I just thought I'd shoot this for you to maybe help other people if they're contemplating hitting the road, doing a short trip, a long trip, or even retiring or living on the road. I hope that my little hacks can sort of help you guys pull the trigger and make it happen. It's a big country, there's a lot to see, and I kind of think at the moment, with everything that's going on with the economy, it's probably a good idea to have more and more people hitting the road, travelling to different areas. Obviously, we've got COVID at the moment. COVID's not going to last forever. Everything will open up again. And yeah, pushing a bit of money into those regional sort of areas. Yeah, but anyway, I hope you guys like this, and in upcoming videos I'm going to leave my contact details, my email and my phone number. I haven't done that yet because we haven't completed our web page yet. As soon as the web page is completed, I'm going to supply all the details. Alright guys, take care.